Good. Good.
I just heard my name being called from down the trail.
A quiet overnight escape brought a solo camper into the forests near Loch Vyah in the Scottish Highlands on August 18, 2025. The footage comes from Eleanor Grace Adventures, a YouTube channel known for solo travel and reflective wild camping in remote locations. Near Aviemore, Eleanor stepped into the woods in search of solitude, only to encounter a silence that felt deeper and more unsettling than she expected.
Around here, apparently around here, is a very old and abandoned car. I wanted to come here to find this really creepy abandoned old car. How the hell did they get a car down here? Was it airlifted in? Then I found a little carved off path, so it's got to be around here somewhere. It's got to be. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for like a big...
The area appears empty, untouched, and far removed from roads or regular foot traffic. With each step, she moves farther from town and deeper into a space that feels cut off from the outside world, as if the forest itself is holding still.
Hiya, mate. You been here a while, or...?
I've done a fair bit of research on this car, and some things are left together what I found from previous explorers online. This is an Opel Olympia, a 1938 model, which is also a left-hand drive.
There's like a really old tin there.
It was made by the German manufacturer Opel and likely imported from Europe around this time, as this is an earlier model. I'm still unsure of how exactly Opel got here. Yes, I'm giving her a nickname because she deserves one, okay? My guess is that this part of the forest was once easier to reach by car.
While exploring off the main path, she finds something unexpected, a vintage Opel Olympia from the late 1930s, left abandoned deep within the trees. The surrounding area is thick and overgrown with no visible access route, making its presence feel out of place. Heavy rain soon begins to fall, and a dense mist spreads across the forest. Rather than waiting, Eleanor decides to enter the loch. As she swims, the environment feels unusually quiet.
No better time than swimming in the rain. I mean, seriously. Who's in that case? There's just one person here that's swimming in torrential rain, me. And there must be people hiding in trees. Like, what the actual hell is she doing? Woohoo! Your dog is so cute. Really cute. She's an idiot. Oh, really? So am I. Don't worry about it. So nice, so happy. Oh, it's peeing it down. Retreat under tree. We've still got a camp. And if this is going to be the weather tonight, I'll always remember this day. That car, I'll always remember that car. I wish I could have camped, like, next to the car.
As evening approaches, she has to relocate after noticing parking restrictions and settles into a new spot near the trees.
On Google Maps. We've come in further down a little bit and I'm gonna see what I can find here. This is absolutely stunning. You hear the birds? I don't know if you can, my mic's on. Wow. And I am covered by a tree, so hopefully it's actually not too bad.
She begins setting up her tent while insects swarm continuously. The forest remains unnaturally still, and the silence slowly makes the space feel uneasy.
What you normally do. Look at the sun coming out, look, between the trees. It's beautiful. Look at the way I'm sat. Hello. This is not attractive, sat like this. I've had to keep dried foods in my car for how long? Because I've been on this trip a while now. And I'm going to have a pot noodle. It's better than nothing. Midgies. Oh, for God's sake, Ellie. I left the sachet in. Come on. Not really. I might have to split this up. Just waiting for my pitter. Now what? This is my first time ever. Now obviously I've camped a lot, but it's my first time ever camping. Like, I've got a rucksack full of stuff. This is how obviously a lot of wild camping is done. Stir crazy. Again. Sometimes you've just got to listen to yourself. I just know that I wouldn't enjoy it. I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm going to have to try and figure out a way to do this like where I actually enjoy it, because if I'm not enjoying it and I'm just fidgeting all the time, like sat there for hours in the silence. 2 cars within the space of 2 minutes have just beat me when I was trying to sort out the back of the car. 2 blokes.
I just went.
Later that night, after choosing to leave, Eleanor returns to her vehicle and organizes her gear at the back. 2 cars drive past and honk as they go by. The brief but unexpected attention feels intrusive and reinforces her decision to leave. Some viewers believe the experience comes down to natural isolation and coincidence, while others point out how subtle elements silence isolation and unwanted attention can shift perception. When nothing seems obviously wrong, how do you decide whether to stay calm or trust your instincts and walk away? A filmmaker and urban explorer known for documenting unsettling investigations on YouTube, Jasko often ventures into abandoned locations and remote forests with his friends Chris and Ben. But one place stood apart: the Devil's Forest, known for reports of violence, unexplained deaths, and disappearances. On September 16th, 2025, Jasko and Chris camped deep within it, unaware that the calm wouldn't last. While walking along a trail, Jasko suddenly heard his name being called in Chris's voice.
I just heard my name being called from down the trail.
The issue was that Chris was nearly a quarter mile away in the opposite direction. What Jasko experienced next would stay with him long after that night.
But Chris is in that direction. Chris? But if he's down there, then... What the f? Yo! Who's down there? Hello?
This was not the first strange event he had faced in that forest. Years earlier, he had camped there in winter with his friend Ben. While they slept, footsteps crunched just outside their tent, and a spirit box had indicated that someone was approaching.
Scottish.
Moments later, a scream echoed through the frozen woods.
Oh, Ben! What the fuck was that? Yeah.
When they checked the area, they discovered fresh footprints pressed into a log resting on a frozen lake.
What? Look on that log right there. Holy... Ben? Those are feet prints. Look at that. What? No.
The tracks appeared without explanation and stopped just as suddenly. To this day, that night remains unexplained. Back in the present, Jasko had just gone through what he described as the most intense scream he had ever heard. Soon after, he and Chris were about to understand the true reputation of the Devil's Forest.
Chris?
Yo.
Chris, did you hear that? Someone just break a fucking window? What was that? What was that?
That was so loud.
As they prepared to sleep, a loud noise similar to glass breaking came from just outside their van. When they checked, nothing seemed damaged or out of place.
Something there?
I don't know.
But Chris, what would make that glass noise?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering. It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense.
Is someone out here like messing with us?
But the worst was still ahead. Only moments later, Jasko and Chris faced the most terrifying moment of their experience.
No. Chris!
That
was a gunshot.
That
was a gunshot. Did you see anything?
There's a light. There's a fucking light right there.
Oh!
What is that?
Oh shit!
What is that? There's someone out
Chris,
there?
what the fuck?
What is that?
Yo, there's someone out there. There's someone out there.
There's actually someone.
Bro, that's a light.
Is it moving?
That's a fucking light. It's moving. Chris, it's moving. There's someone outside the van right now.
What are they doing? There actually has been somebody here the whole time.
What the fuck?
From within the trees, a moving light appeared, confirming that someone or something was nearby and circling their position.
Bro, if they have a gun and we're fucking hearing shit.
Fearing for their safety, they abandoned the campsite and ran barefoot into the darkness, determined not to stop until they were far away from the forest. Whether the experience was caused by something paranormal or by real people remains uncertain. What is clear is that Jasko entered the Devil's Forest twice, and both times he was forced to run to protect himself and his friends. Their escape shows that sometimes leaving is the only option, but not everyone gets that chance. That became clear when Brendan later found himself trapped as headlights and footsteps closed in around his van. Some believe these encounters point to human threats, while others suspect something far more disturbing. Would you stay and investigate or leave without looking back? This encounter takes us to India on June 16, 2023. A YouTube channel called The Experiment TV, known for pushing boundaries with bold and unpredictable science content, decided to test limits once again. This time, instead of a controlled setup, the focus shifted to survival. The concept was simple: spend a night camping in the middle of a powerful tropical cyclone. Even with official warnings issued across Gujarat advising people to remain indoors, the creator and his group moved ahead with their plan. As soon as they reached the campsite, they were met with intense winds and rapidly shifting weather.
गाइस, गुजरात में रेड अलर्ट जारी किया गया है, यानी कि गुजरात के लोगों को घर से बाहर ना निकलने की चेतावनी दी गई है। ओ भाई, क्योंकि यहाँ पर एक बहुत ही भयानक तूफान आया है और ये इतना खतरनाक तूफान है कि लोगों को उड़ा कर ले जा सकता है, तो कोई घर से बाहर नहीं निकल रहा है। बट गाइस, हम ऐसे भयानक तूफान में कैंपिंग करने वाले हैं और इसकी हवा कितनी तेज है मैं आपको दिखा देता हूँ। मेरे हाथ में एक छतरी है, हट जाओ यहाँ से। अब गाइस, जैसे ही मैं इसको ऑपोजिट साइड में करूंगा, देख लेना, देख लो कितना ज्यादा यहाँ पर हवा चल रही है। ओ भाई, इम्पॉसिबल हो जाएगा। गाइस, लोग टेंट को छोड़ने वाले हैं। रेडी? 1 2 एंड 3, छोड़ दे। ओ गया गाइस, ओ पकड़ लिया, उन्होंने पकड़ लिया। भाई उठ गए, हो गए, 2 बंदे उठ गए। गाइस, ये नहीं करना था, टेंट हमारा टूट चुका है। लो अंदर लो। गाइस, बारिश होने लगी है, टेंट टूट चुका है हमारा। ये एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं करना था हमें। ओ भाई, टूट गया। गाइस, तेज बारिश हो रही है।
What began as strong gusts quickly turned into a severe storm. They tried securing their tent, but the wind force overwhelmed their setup. Gear was blown away, and several members struggled to stay on their feet. The tent gave out. Heavy rain followed. The group attempted to create some form of shelter using whatever was left, but conditions worsened rapidly.
गाइस, हम पानी को जो भूल चुके थे, वो 2 बंदे पानी लेने गए हैं। बाहर का मैं आपको माहौल दिखाऊं। तगड़ी वाली बारिश हो रही है। गाइस, हालात बद से बदतर हो रहे हैं। लगता है हम लोग उड़ जाएंगे, पता नहीं बच पाएंगे या फिर नहीं इस माहौल में। उड़ जाएगा गाइस, सीरियसली। अभी हमारे पास अपनी गाड़ी भी नहीं है और यहाँ से अगर निकले तो भाई साहब, बाहर देखो क्या बारिश हो रही है भाई। गाइस, भयानक माहौल है और इसमें सर्वाइव कर पाना बहुत ज्यादा मुश्किल है। गाइस, अभी हवा जो वो काफी ज्यादा बढ़ चुकी है, आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल हो रही है। ओ भाई, अभी पीक पर है गाइस। ज्यादा हवा जो नहीं आ रही थी अभी तक। क्या करें, रात को और भी खतरनाक हो सकता है, खतरनाक हो सकता है। हवाएं और भी बढ़ रही है, कोशिश करेंगे इससे बाहर निकल जाए। ध्यान से निकल जाओ फटाफट। चलो जल्दी चलो। गाइस, बाहर अभी बहुत ज्यादा हवाएं चल रही है।
With no vehicle nearby and no quick way to leave, they stayed close together, trying to remain steady as the wind continued to build. The environment became chaotic. Thunder echoed loudly, water began covering the ground, and visibility dropped to almost nothing. What started as an endurance test had now turned into a real survival situation. Eventually realizing the danger was increasing, the group chose to leave. Acting quickly but carefully, they gathered what they could and exited the area. Fortunately, no one was injured, though the experience clearly left an impact. Some people might see this as irresponsible. Others may view it as a bold attempt to document the raw force of nature. Either way, the footage shows something uncommon, not just the storm, but how people respond when everything around them begins to fall apart. It also brings up an important question: how far should creators go in pursuit of content? If they had stayed even 30 minutes longer, would the outcome have been different? In conditions like that, survival can depend on seconds, and sometimes nature doesn't offer another chance. In October 2024, a YouTuber known as Preside, widely known for capturing tense and eerie outdoor moments, chose to push things further. His plan: spend a night alone camping deep in the forest. From the moment he got there, something felt off. Not long after being dropped off with his equipment.
Alright guys, I just got dropped off with all my stuff, but I was walking just barely with my stuff and I heard a giant crash over there, over in that direction. It literally sounded like a tree falling over. I don't know what that was. I just really hope there's not people in this forest. I'm probably gonna inflate my air mattress and set up my bed. I just heard sticks now. I'm not even kidding. over that way. I'm hoping that's just the wind. But once I lay down and my weight disperses, it's... Is that a gunshot? I literally think I just heard a gunshot. I don't know if that picked up on camera.
He heard a loud crashing sound nearby, something large hitting the ground, possibly a falling tree. The noise came from deeper within the woods, from an area without any visible paths. Although it unsettled him, he brushed it off as a random event. But as he continued setting up his campsite, more unusual sounds followed, breaking branches, shifting leaves, and what he thought could have been a distant gunshot. Even with the growing tension, he continued with his plan.
Guys, I just woke up. It's like 2 a.m. and I just heard footsteps outside of the tent. Literally woke me up. It was so loud. They went away though. I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to go out and check, but I'm kind of scared too. I think we're gonna go out and check. I might just walk around and look at the area. There's my bike. The footsteps came from like over here. They sounded like it was right here. My tent is right there. Guys, look at this. There's something floating right here. Look at that. That's cool. Whoa. Whoa, there's a moth attacking me. It's attacking my light. Yeah, I really don't know. Wait, guys, what is this? Some sort of marking on the tree. It's kind of creepy. I wonder what that's for. It's so creepy over this way. I'm gonna just walk around for a minute though, I guess.
As darkness took over, he got into his tent and tried to rest. But around 2 a.m., something suddenly woke him. Heavy footsteps moved around the tent, loud enough to pull him from deep sleep. When the noise stopped, he hesitated, unsure whether to check or stay inside. Eventually, curiosity took over. With a flashlight in hand, he stepped outside. The surroundings were completely still. His bike remained untouched nearby. He slowly scanned the area, trying to trace where the sounds had come from. That's when he saw something unusual, a marking or symbol carved into a nearby tree. He couldn't figure out what it meant, but it added to the uneasy feeling. After checking further, he found nothing else. Aside from a few insects and shifting shadows, the forest stayed unnaturally quiet. Believing it was safe, or at least not immediately dangerous, he went back into the tent and lay down. But the night wasn't finished. Sometime later, another sound broke the silence, louder, closer, and far more alarming than before.
I'm not sleeping here. I'm not sleeping here. I'm shaking so bad. I'm packing my stuff and I'm getting out of here. I legit forgot I was recording that. I'm shaking so bad. Look at my hand. Look at my hand.
This time, fear took control. He didn't wait to investigate. Shaking, he quickly gathered his gear and left the area in the dark. Was this simply his imagination reacting to isolation, or was something or someone actually following him through the forest? The carved marking on the tree, along with the precise timing of the sounds, suggests it may not have been random. What if he had ignored the second noise and stayed? Would morning have come, or something else? Sometimes danger doesn't announce itself. It just waits, silently, outside your tent. This unsettling story comes from Mo McMahon, a solo female van lifer documenting her travels across the rugged terrain of Australia. Her YouTube channel provides an unfiltered look at life on the road alone, showing the beauty, isolation, and at times the very real risks that come with remote travel. On March 30th, 2023, one quiet evening at a mountain campsite would challenge her instincts in ways she didn't anticipate. Mo had planned a calm overnight stay at a location called Crooked Creek, an isolated area with no cell service and no other campers nearby.
I'm the only one here. There's no telephone service. It's gorgeous, but feels a little creepy. I'm gonna build a fire, I'm gonna cook some food, and then I'm gonna leave before sundown. Yeah, 'cause just no, it's scary. Alright, we're not alone now. It's 3 men.
At first, she enjoyed the peaceful setting up camp, starting a fire, and making dinner. But as time went on, a sense of unease slowly crept in. The silence around her began to feel less like freedom and more like exposure. Then, without warning, a van pulled in carrying 4 men who stepped out and briefly walked around the area.
Yeah, use the nitro as my toilet.
I'm leaving. After my lunch.
Although they didn't approach or speak to her, their presence in such a remote and otherwise empty place made her uncomfortable. After roughly 15 tense minutes, the group drove off. Still, the feeling of risk remained. Mo quickly finished what she was doing, packed her gear, and left before sunset, choosing safety over staying the night. Her decision to keep recording and trust her instincts highlights how important it is to stay aware while traveling alone. Even without a direct confrontation, the feeling of being vulnerable, far from assistance, and surrounded by unknown people can be deeply unsettling. In situations like this, acting on instinct can be the safest choice. What would you have done in her situation? Stayed overnight or followed your instincts and left? Share your thoughts in the comments, because in the wilderness, it's not always wildlife that poses the biggest danger. This next disturbing encounter comes from Sam Nitch, a creator known for paranormal investigations and eerie explorations. His channel focuses on documenting unusual activity, unexplained sightings, and ghost hunts, often taking him into remote or reportedly haunted locations in search of answers. On November 21st, 2017, what started as a casual trip into the woods quickly turned into something far more serious. Sam and his companion entered the forest in a relaxed mood, laughing and talking as they walked.
Alright guys, remember our last video when we was in the caravan? I did say to you we was going to go down to the woods, and today it's a little bit raining at the moment, so what we're going to do, we're going to show you the woods for the moment. It's quite spooky, to be fair. Look at this little gap, I like little gaps. So we get down here, but we're going to take you over here. The old Victorian wall. There's walls all overgrown and all that. Oh shit! Oh man! Oh. Right guys, this is the woods where we're going to come to the woods. We're going to make our way down to the bottom because there's a path down that. So a little bit of joke fun. Let's do my favourite thing. Is there anyone here? Wait, no fucking way. Did you see that? You see, there's someone in yellow with a shovel, with a spade, man. Let's find out.
They didn't seem bothered by the overcast sky and light rain. But that tone changed fast when they called out into the trees and noticed a person standing completely still, dressed entirely in yellow, positioned among the branches.
Just disappeared, just like that. He was walking, he or she was walking that way with a shovel.
At first, the figure appeared strange, but not immediately threatening. The two joked about it, even tossing small sticks and trying to get a reaction while staying partially hidden. But that playful attitude disappeared the moment the person suddenly moved, rushing toward them with unexpected speed. Caught off guard, they ran, trying to brush it off with nervous laughter, though the tension was obvious.
Right, guys. Seriously, I'm out of fucking breath, man. So, I'm gonna make our way back. Hopefully, we don't get chased by that fucking whoever it was. I don't know how to explain it. It's just fucked up, man. We're the only ones in the woods as well, so I'm not gonna do that again. No way. No fucking way. See you later, mate. Ain't getting up here, bro. He's got a spade in his fucking lawn. Go over there, go over there.
Just as they began to settle down, assuming it was over, the same individual showed up again, this time running after them once more. They quickly made their way up a hill, hoping the terrain would slow whoever was chasing them. One detail stayed with them: the man wasn't empty-handed. He was holding a shovel. Being startled in the woods is one thing. Being chased by someone carrying a shovel is something else entirely. If it had been a misunderstanding or a joke, most people would have reacted differently, either speaking up or walking away. But the fact that the man returned and charged again raises serious questions. Was he guarding something, concealing something, or was it simply a random and frightening situation? What would you have done in their position? Continued recording. Tried to confront it, or reacted the same way and ran? Share your thoughts, because sometimes the most unsettling things in the forest aren't the unknown, but the people you encounter.